positions are the same.
No, we're talking about defensive line.
Yeah,
Defensive line. Okay, if you're not a defensive end, you're the same.
Nah, dude.
It's just that they have a defensive
Nope.
tackle
I don't
and
wanna
then
hear it.
nose tackle.
What do they
and
do?
then
What do they
defensive
do?
end.
What's their job?
It's a bit of water.
They just say, "We out here, we doing this." Yeah.
Anyway, I don't play football now, so. All right,
There we
cool. You ready to start a podcast?
I wasn't big enough to play football. I was a child.
Are you big enough to play football now?
That has to be how
I
we
don't
start.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Welcome out to SWEN. This is a podcast where we, every week, we go over some of the news headlines from the previous week, and we just kind of riff on them. There's nothing, no intellectual stuff here.
These aren't real facts.
Yeah, we just don't use facts. All right, so starting with opening remarks, I am Danny, and I think beer is objectively the worst alcoholic beverage.
Huh. I'm Daniel. And I wish I was William.
I'm Solomon, R.I.P. Lil Peep, visionary, honestly.
My name is William, and I'm drinking water.
Well, I'm glad. So starting right off the top, I just want to clarify something that I kind of said in the pre-roll. We are not a real news podcast. We have less efficacy than The Daily Show. We probably have less efficacy than like BuzzFeed. So we said some things last podcast, some of which were offensive. Some are just objectively not true. So just don't ever listen to us.
Turn this off right now.
Yeah. Like we said Hitler was actually alive in Argentina. That's just not true. Like even the CIA was like, that's not true. That's just not the truth.
Have you been to
Don't
Argentina?
cite us on a research paper. Don't tell your teachers to listen to this podcast.
Pretty credible.
Actually, tell your teachers to listen to this podcast. Tell your teachers to play this podcast in class. We're very educational. See, that's a joke. And also, more seriously than that, one of us said something, I genuinely can't remember who said it right now, about it's cool because Louis C.K. asked people before he masturbated in front of them. It's also just not true. Just don't ever ask people randomly to masturbate in front of them. It does not make you a
What
cool
if you're
dude.
in a club specifically about masturbating in front of people?
I don't know that club exists.
I promise you it exists.
Okay, well, find me a sign up for the club, maybe.
I will.
I don't know.
And we're going to
I'm
go.
on it.
I'm not going there.
Yeah, we're not going there. There's actually, did you guys listen to the most recent Mark Maron podcast where he talks about that?
No, why would I have?
I don't know. I like that podcast.
It's a good podcast.
But he says, he was like, the thing about asking first is like, it's irrelevant because nobody should have to go to work and then ask if you want to see a dick today, which I think is
That's true.
the point. So,
Yeah.
we're not getting too serious out here. Okay.
What if you want to fuck somebody at work?
I mean,
Just don't.
the consent.
I mean, yeah, that's what. But how you consent if you don't ask?
There
yeah,
are
don't.
multiple
Just
bars,
ask them when you're
multiple bars
Yeah,
and
not
locations in
Exactly.
in New Orleans that are just masturbation clubs.
serious?
I'm looking at like 4.
What are their names?
Well, fuck me. I
Welcome
guess
to
Monkey
NOLA.
Hill Bar,
If you're-
Gold Mine Saloon.
if you are specifically, actually, I don't think Goldmine Saloon is.
Probably
I
on
just
a
looked
certain
up
day.
masturbation
It's probably
clubs.
on a certain
If you
day.
are in, for some reason, a masturbation society, then I guess that's different. But on the usual best advice, just don't do that. Don't ask people randomly if you can masturbate in front of them. That's all.
Yeah.
It's not that hard, guys. Okay, cool. So starting off the podcast, our very first news story is about Star Wars Battlefront 2. EA recently, I think they had the beta, and then they also released the game. Now they released it, where it was. They have characters locked behind. Either you can have them through playing a certain amount of hours, or through a paywall. And usually I'm okay with that, but then they made the playing hours so obscene. You have to play like 40 hours, I think, for a character. And it's the most recognizable Star Wars characters are the ones that are behind the paywalls, like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
who it's like, why the fuck else are you playing than to be Darth Vader? It's the only reason you play a Star Wars game.
I don't know. I'd love to be Kit Fisto.
That's true, actually. I had a thing for Kiadi Mundi, the guy with 2 brains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a cool dude.
I just don't like the way how you said I had a thing for.
Oh, yeah.
Double size head, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, we're not going there.
Okay. Yeah, so they locked it behind either a paywall or you had to play an obscene amount of time, and it blew up, and people were like, this is terrible. And EA tried to redeem themselves. They went on Reddit and were like, we're going to do an AMA. And then they went on there, and people asked them questions, and their answers were basically nothing. They didn't explain anything. So shit's cool, I guess. EA's garbage as always, but they are being boycotted by a lot of people. A lot of people canceled pre-orders. Their stock dropped today. It's crazy, and they're actually looking at it might be that Battlefront 2 underperforms. So it's pretty crazy to see them kind of get shaken to their knees by a bunch of people who were complaining about fairly basic stuff. So were you guys going to buy Battlefront 2 to start off?
This game comes out tomorrow. Am I correct?
I think it's out.
No, I think it came out Tuesday.
It came out already?
Yeah, it came out the 14th.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Did anybody play the first reboot?
No,
Yes.
I didn't
no idea.
buy it because I played it and I was like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's very like middle of the road, decent. I got it for my brother, like the Christmas holiday season. It came out, and it's just kind of barren. There's not much to do. At least I heard they've improved that in the second one, but yeah, it was very okay despite it looking beautiful and being like the most realistic Star Wars experience you can get in a video game. But yeah, no, the first one wasn't good enough for me to look at the second one and be like, oh, I'm definitely getting this.
It just didn't have enough content.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the issue. But I have saw like the campaign that they added for this one, and it's pretty good.
What I love is that going into this, the last one wasn't received very well. People were like,
Right.
it's a pretty good game, but there's not a lot there. It's not super interesting. And then the EA was like, well, we're going to make it better. All the DLC is free, and we're going to add a campaign. And somehow they still managed to fuck it up. Like, how do you, people were actually like, okay, we'll give it a chance, and then you still ruined it.
I remember like watching the reveal and for the like E3 reveal of Battlefront 2, and them saying that like some guy in the creator's booth, he's like, yep, all DLC is free. And I think it was like on Twitch or something, and everybody responded with like the doubt meme. It's like, yeah, sure.
Do you guys play any other EA games?
Battlefield 1.
Yeah, we
I
have
don't-
Battlefield 1. I actually like the game a lot.
It is
I've bought a
fun.
Madden in 5 years.
Yeah, FIFA.
FIFA.
Yeah. But
And
other than that, like, I haven't bought a FIFA game for a couple of years now, though.
Did Battlefield 1 have like microtransactions or no?
It does, but it's for like battle packs.
Okay, well that's kind of how this works is that there are like loot crates in Battlefront 2, and they were saying that it's crazy because like you kind of have to do the loot crates if you don't want to play through it, but it's also like you could buy 40 of them
Yeah.
and not get what you want.
Like CSGO.
Yeah, like CS:GO.
Exactly.
Which I also don't play. I stick to CS Source, the True Man's game.
The gentleman's game.
That's the patrician choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's crazy because like it's not hard to make a good Battlefront game. Clearly, Pandemic did it twice, and it was fucking phenomenal. So, and they're good at making Battlefield games. I like Battlefield 1 a lot. I just don't know. I guess they just assumed everybody was going to shell out because it's Star Wars.
Video games are honestly, I had to explain this to my mom the other day. They're honestly becoming like a service. Like it's like the next Netflix. It's like, you're not, you honestly pay for a video game. You're paying for maybe 60% of the actual video game. You know?
Yeah.
The days of owning things is over.
Right.
Yeah.
You stream something or you
getting rid of owning.
watch something. Yeah.
Right.
No
Yeah.
more houses.
We're getting rid of ownership. Sorry,
You
guys.
don't
TV for
own
life.
anything.
I don't. It just makes me piss off, honestly.
I agree.
I'm not surprised, to be completely honest.
It's like the new Call of Duty game, World War II.
I haven't played it. What's up?
No, but when they launched it launched with 9 maps.
What?
9 multiplayer maps. And it was supposed to have more, but they cut them. and they just like
Are they
recycle
going
them
to
for
sell them?
yeah for DLC.
You gotta be fucking kidding
exactly.
me.
Is this a bad issue?
I care a lot about video games. I probably care a little too much, but whatever. I just don't. It's not hard to make a video game and sell it, and then it's done.
Yeah,
tried,
just
Danny?
make it good.
Yeah, I have actually.
This is why nobody's played your game.
I said I made it. I didn't have any DLC. Nobody bought it. You want to check out my video game?
What's it called?
It's I don't remember now. It was a source mod.
Cartoon Meat and Fuck 2009.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like
good.
it.
I made that game that has all the Tumblr ads where it's like choose your destiny and they're always kind
You
of
made
saucy.
that game? I fucking hate you.
I don't even know who's doing the advertising for it. Somebody else just paid to advertise my game.
I feel bad like every single time I scroll through. I'm like, God damn it, this ad again. And then they like show me the options. I'm like, definitely snoop on him, see what he's
Yeah,
doing.
for real.
And like, I'm not gonna click it, but she should totally.
Also, like
look.
that it's always like saucy, like, "Ooh, what should you do?" It's like, "Oh, I'm tired," or "Let's go to bed," winky face.
Yeah.
And it's like between two blogs I follow that are just porn, and I'm like, "This is not interesting to me." How do you fix microtransactions?
You fucking make your. I don't fuck.
Do you think we have to have them, or do you think that people should just make
No.
games, put the whole thing in there, but
Like-
then sell it for more?
Like you should have. Like you can't have a play to win. Or like too unreasonable. Like
play
EA's
to
too
win.
unreasonable. Like GTA. Like they do it real well to where like you can basically have anything you want, but if you do want the advantage,
Yeah, you have to.
then you can pay
you
a
gotta-
little
you
bit.
have to
Like
pay
if you
it.
just
Right.
want slightly more money,
Mm.
then you can do it. But you can do it all on your own fine.
Like cosmetics and
Exactly,
stuff?
yeah.
Like, yeah. I think that's fair. But also I think it's weird because like GTA, it's like it's a free for all game where you're just running around and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's probably not going to be like CS:GO, but there is some competition I think to Battlefront that's not like GTA where it's kind of just doing things for shits and
Yeah.
giggles.
So I ask you this, Danny, and respond if you know the answer to my question.
Okay.
Are any of these, like microtransactions or things blocked by a paywall? Does it affect how well you do in the game?
Yes and no. So the things blocked by a paywall, as far as I understand, are only things like hero characters like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. They're not going to prevent you from like getting guns or any sort of abilities like that. But if you are playing a hero character, all the hero characters have different abilities. So so if you played, imagine playing Smash Bros. And then like they locked one of the characters and you had to pay for it.
Gotcha.
And like so objectively you can be good with the other characters, but if you don't have this character then you are locked out of its abilities and skills. You can unlock it, but yeah, there's like 4 characters I think that are lockable. I know there's 2 at least, but I think
Yeah.
there's more. But you have to. It's the average play time for every character to unlock it without paying is 40 hours, which
Jesus.
is almost 2 days.
Yeah.
Then
So-
also, I saw the abilities that you have to pay money if you want certain abilities.
You do.
Yes. It's
Okay.
like so you can like upgrade like the abilities. Like if you
Oh, yeah,
want
yeah,
your what's
yeah.
it called? Like if it's a lightsaber throw and you want to be able to throw your lightsaber even farther, you have to get in-game currency or you can just pay for it.
And also, so it's
Don't
40
like it.
hours of play. But like if you try to play, because somebody did this, I think it was Boogie or whoever on Twitch. He was playing, but there's like a reset period. So if you play like arcade mode or something, you can only do it for 4 hours at a time, and then they'll stop giving you credits.
Oh.
So like you can't even play for 40 hours
bullshit.
straight.
Yeah.
You have to do 40 hours and then stop and then do something else and then come back to it. Go to a different mode or something. It's just a fucking fiasco. It's not that hard to just. I don't even care if it's $90. I'll buy a game for $90 if I don't have to deal with microtransactions. It's just a Game of the Year edition before we do that.
Wait, is it like they have like 8 game modes and you have to play like 5 game? You have to play like 5 hours in each game mode.
No, you can play only one game mode, but you can't play it all at once.
Okay.
So
I've
like
never purchased a DLC or anything. I've never bought any microtransactions in my life.
That's you've never bought a map pack.
No.
Are you serious?
I've only bought
Promise.
one.
Oh my
I
god.
don't think I did either.
Well,
I bought
okay.
one map pack for I think Black Ops, and
Which one was it?
I think the first one,
The Ascension?
maybe.
Yeah,
I
that's
barely
what
remember.
I got that one because that zombie map is awesome.
I've been
Yeah.
playing default maps my whole life.
But that shit was like $15.
Yeah,
or
it
something
was
like
too
that.
much.
And I was like, that's so
Well, I
much
remember when I
money.
thought that was too much, but apparently now it's like, no, you can only get certain things if you fucking gamble for it. It's
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's like every day they're trying to find new ways to fuck you, and I'm sick of it.
It's like in like FIFA. For like EA, they would do like FIFA points, and so you can just buy like packs for Ultimate Team, and like you have to do it if you want to compete. Like, if
Yeah.
you actually want to do well, you have
Yeah.
to set the
2K does that, and that's why I'm not playing 2K right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
buy haircuts. Some bullshit.
Yeah. So everybody out there, if you want to buy Battlefront 2, just buy the original Battlefront 2. It's on Steam. It's like $10.
Great
It's a
game.
phenomenal game.
10 out of 10, honestly.
Play it way too much.
It's so good.
We're gonna stream that one day probably.
You said the characters that like are the top tier are Vader and Luke?
They're not like top tier. It's
But
not, but that's the most recognizable characters
Right,
of Star Wars,
yeah.
and they are locked behind that. Like,
That's hilarious because
wall.
those are the starting hero characters in the first
They are,
Battlefront
yeah.
reboot. Yeah.
it's like, and that's what people are saying. It's like if you were like, oh yeah, we're gonna do, like a Star Trek game, but Kirk is locked behind this thing. It's like
Yeah.
that doesn't make any fucking sense.
At least they didn't. What's it called? Lock Darth Maul.
I don't think
I
anybody
don't
gives
know
a
if
shit about
Darth
Darth
Maul.
Maul.
I
Nah,
like
dude,
him
if
personally.
you've
but
seen
like,
Darth Maul,
I don't
like,
really agree with his views.
like, what's it called? Like gameplay wise, he's probably like the craziest
He
one.
has that spinny attack.
I actually
Exactly.
really liked Darth
It's
Maul in
intense.
Battlefront 2.
Yeah, he
very
was
If
good.
you did the running attack, he would do that thing where he just like.
Yeah, that was dope.
Anyway.
I liked Yoda because you could jump like 8
Yeah.
times
Yeah,
in a row,
good.
and I
I
was
liked,
just fucking with people 8 miles above the map.
Do you know Grievous was good too?
he didn't have any
I hated
force
Darth
powers.
He didn't have any force powers,
But
but
he had a
he
lot
was
of lightsabers.
he was.
He did. He had multiple.
If you
My
what's it called?
favorite, all I remember from not all I remember, but one of my best video game memories from Battlefront 2 was playing online and going like with a sniper rifle, getting 127 kills and 9 deaths.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I was so happy that day, and that I've never done anything better in life.
Yeah, I don't. This is the Battlefront 2, guys.
Yeah.
So
What
that's-
map was that on?
Tatooine, maybe.
Nice.
Yeah.
You were up on the what's it called?
Did you know it had first person?
Yep.
Only
Yes,
on
I
PC.
did.
Only
No,
on
no.
Did it have on PS2?
It was on. I
was
had
on
it on
Xbox.
Xbox.
Oh, it
I
didn't
got
have
it
on PS2.
recently on a 360, and I was like, "That's just first person."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even in the first one, you could go for.
Yeah.
Because I remember I accidentally got on one controller on the original Xbox. I locked it on first person, and I had no clue how to get it off. And so it was we'd like take the controller out and put a new one in, and it just went away.
That game is seriously like I still play it all the time.
It's a great game. So many
Yeah.
good memories, honestly.
All right, cool. Moving on. Cards Against Humanity recently bought a plot of land. The company that owns Cards Against Humanity bought a plot of land on the Mexican U.S. border. And they said they bought the land and they plan on hiring an eminent domain legal team so that they can block the border wall from going up as much or as long as possible, make it costly for the government to do it just because fuck, the border wall is the whole point. And you can basically back this project. You get a free, a very limited edition pack of cards, and you send them the money, and basically you get, I think, a pack of cards and a T-shirt, maybe. Yeah, and they're just basically, it's a big old middle finger to our boy D. Trump. What up? Thank you for sponsoring this podcast.
Thank you, Trump.
So yeah, I think it's super cool that a company who clearly is just batshit insane is doing something good. Good for them.
Didn't they also sell shit?
Yeah, I bought it.
Oh, you bought some?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a box of shit, and
Right.
how it worked was you would pay for it, and they didn't tell you, but 1 in 10 people got like every single pack and cards.
Mm-hmm.
But most people were like, "Oh, haha, it's gonna be like a thing. It's like they say buy a box of shit and you'll get something better." No, it was a cow turd. Is what they sent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
bought
good.
it, and I reused it. I used it, and
How'd you reuse it?
I brought it to like a Dirty Santa, like a white elephant party or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
And people were like, "Oh, it says Cards Against Humanity. I bet it's something cool." And they open it, it's a box of shit. It's pretty good.
Needless to say, you weren't invited back.
No, I was.
Oh,
The
okay.
girl who got the shit was not invited back.
Oh, gotcha.
Dang.
Fuck her.
Whoa.
I say that, but I saw her recently at a Mexican restaurant. She's fine.
Oh, good. She's healthy.
But did you guys know that people that were, what's it called, like colonizing the Midwest, like settlers, they would take dry cow patties and then throw them around like they were frisbees. They did. It's in a book.
Damn.
I feel like that's something that we would make up.
No, I'm being.
honestly.
It's in a, what's it called? It's I think it's called like there's a book called A Book About Poop, and it's just a bunch of poop facts.
Okay.
I like the fact that you just picked that up one day, William. You're like,
No, but
book
what's it
about
called?
poop.
My parents got it for us.
Of course.
Oh.
It had some really cool,
Parents fucking
interesting.
hate you.
Yeah. Like William, like shit.
Okay, so do you think... I also think that the funny thing about the card dismay thing was the response was somebody was like, I don't like it when you get into politics. You should stick to card games. And their response was, you should stick to seeing how many Hot Wheel cars you can shove up your own asshole. I just love the attitude of this company. I think we need to start doing that.
This isn't the first time they've, like, I did mention the shit thing, but they have, I want to say they did something similar.
Oh, they did one where that you could pay for nothing. You would just send them money, and they were like, you can send us money, and we will give you nothing in return. And they did. And people were like, oh, okay, it's a joke again. People just don't learn. Mm-hmm. So they did, and they just got nothing in return. And then they made a big post, like, months later about what they spent all that money on that they gave. And one girl was like, I'm going to college. And then the other dude, he threw a giant pool party, and then they later did one where you could donate to dig a giant hole to try and get to China. They were like, we will accept your money. We're going to hire...
I remember they did that.
Yeah, and they were just like, we're going to dig a big hole. And everybody's like, we're doing it.
They were like,
These guys are...
They're like, we're selling shit. And they go, oh, we're out of shit. We'll just sell nothing. Who gives a shit? And it worked.
We're just... I like that Cards Against Humanity has reached a point where it is post-ironic. It's like, we know that nothing is going to come of this, but we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah. It's so beloved, and they have so much money. I feel like that's what's going to happen if we get a lot of money.
Oh, we're going to be way worse.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Petition to drink all the water.
So, did you see the petition recently? There was like petition to replace Kevin Spacey with Kevin James on it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be shit like that.
That's hysterical.
If we got like unreasonable amounts of money, what would you do? Daniel, go.
Oh, fuck. Cure the AIDS epidemic.
Too serious.
Come back to me.
Okay, William, go.
What'd you say?
If we got unreasonable amounts of money, like we got fuck you money, what would you do?
I feel like I would make a statue or something like that.
I'd make a statute.
What?
A statute about William's statue.
Dang.
What does the statute say?
William has to have a statue. I'm panicking. This is a hard question.
I know. That's the thing, is that I don't like how... The thing is that I don't want to do anything that's not for a good cause.
Well, I've actually thought about this before. I'd like to do something that's for a good cause, but also obnoxious. Mm-hmm. I'd like to donate money to build buildings for like schools and stuff, but the rule is that if I donate you the money, I get to name it.
Dang.
Oh.
So it'd be like we get like the Steve Irwin getting stabbed by a stingray Center for Marine Biology.
The kids are fucking stupid. School of
Education.
Of education, yeah. Hey, son, I enrolled you in the kids are fucking stupid school.
It's a great school too.
Yeah.
It's just like really good, but it's like every time you get a degree from there.
Yeah, it's just like, why does it say that you went to this?
Also, I'd replace all of the places that we took down Confederate statues. I'd replace them all with statues of Louis Armstrong. But just they're all Louis Armstrong. They're not.
Are they all the same
musicians.
statue?
Oh,
No,
wait.
they're varying statues of Louis Armstrong,
okay.
and all of the plaques say something different, but also none of them are true. So, like one in the least circle is just like Louis Armstrong was the first man to make a trumpet out of metal with his own hands. Louis Armstrong also didn't have hands.
She said Louis Armstrong.
Tourists would eat that up. They'd be
They
like, "Did
would.
you know he didn't have
I used
hands?"
to do that.
Yeah.
We talked about this before about like fake tours.
Right.
I used to go, people would ask me for directions. I would tell them fake things and they all had Louis Armstrong in the name.
Wow.
Somebody asked me where Cafe du Monde was, and my response was, "Yeah, you go down Frenchman, you take a right on Louis Armstrong Street, and then you go to where there's a big statue of Louis Armstrong on the horse next to the cathedral, St. Louis Cathedral. It's named after Louis Armstrong." And they just bought it.
Yeah, honestly.
Dang.
They say, I'm from France. Just help me.
Just don't know English. It's just fucking
You
with
shouldn't
me.
be as, I don't know French. William knows French.
Yeah.
William, dish me out some French.
No.
That's French.
I'm not gonna, what's it called? I'm not gonna speak on command.
You're not a monkey.
Yeah, I ain't a monkey.
Okay.
I don't have a fez hat. I don't have symbols.
In
I don't
case
think
that
all-
was y'all's perception of William, he's
all-
not a monkey with a fez hat.
Yeah.
All monkeys in the jungle have fez hats and symbols.
Yeah, they do.
They ask you riddles.
Yeah, it's like, you want to pass?
Jane Goodall's research is amazing. Okay, cool. So I don't think we need to talk about this topic anymore. I don't know why I brought it up.
It was a good topic.
I don't know. I like
What are
it.
we talking about?
The craziest man.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So next one. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the greatest achievement of all white men, Vans Warped Tour.
That's a good way to
Ooh,
start
yikes.
that.
I think it's objectively true. So Vans Warped Tour is a concert series that travels. It tours the country, and it's got like an area of interest is mostly like pop punk and emo music, and occasionally there's some rap, but it's always like accessible rap, I guess.
White kids like
Yeah, it is. It's white. It's suburban rap. But they've been going since like the mid 90s. 25 years almost. Next year's 25 years. And basically they said, we're done. We can't do it anymore. It's not cost effective. We're not touring anymore. So I want to know, do you guys A, even know what Warped Tour is, and B, did you ever go?
I knew it existed. I didn't know it was. I don't even know.
I was about to go to Warped Tour one year, and then we didn't. Warped Tour also has like the highest number of. This is just the topic all the time, but of like sexual allegations.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. Because for some reason, guys, specifically guys like mid-20s in the pop punk scene, also don't know how to fucking handle themselves around women.
Shouts out to Jesse Lacey.
Oh God.
Not actually shouts out. Jesse Lacey did
please
not
don't
sponsor
shout
this
out.
podcast.
I thought that new album's great. But yeah, bad person.
Yeah, I went to Warped Tour a couple years ago, and that is absolutely true. There's a lot of weird, and not even like dudes in their mid 20s. For me, it was always like it'd be me, and I was like 19 or whatever, and there would always be girls like in the crowd, and then there'd be guys who were clearly 10 years older than them, like trying to hit on them, and I was like, this is fucking weird. I almost got in 2 fights the one Warped Tour I went to because of that.
Oh yikes.
But I actually really liked Warped Tour when I went. I am sad that it is not going to be here anymore. It's like super cheap. I think I went for like $30 or something.
Oh wow.
And I saw amazing artists there, and like before they were big, which is crazy.
Who'd you see, Danny?
Anderson .Paak was there.
That's
Ooh,
right.
I like
Dang,
that.
that's real cool.
I saw Watsky and Anderson .Paak shared a set. It was really good.
When he was small.
Yeah,
was
I saw him.
small man.
I saw him open for Watsky twice in the same year.
Wakiki?
No, not Wakiki.
Wakiki Palmer.
Taikiki Palmer.
Why Kiki Palmer?
Oh,
She spells.
Yeah. Aquila and the Bee.
I know who Kiki Palmer is.
I just wanted to
She was in
clarify for
Jump
everyone
In.
else on the podcast that's listening, Danny.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's crazy, and
That
they
is
said
wild,
they
yeah.
said that they might not be touring anymore, but they said they're trying to still keep it afloat. It might end up something like Bonnaroo or something where they just have it in 1 or 2 locations. I don't know. I think it's also weird because like pop punk's clearly not a big thing anymore.
Yeah.
So it's and they had to adapt. They added rapping and stuff, and that sounded very white of me.
They had to adapt.
They added rapping,
unfortunately.
just but
Yeah, no, Vans Warped Tour has been going on for quite some time.
And it's crazy because like Vans is now like bigger than they were when this Warped Tour started. So I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird to see a scene die out. People ain't playing Tony Hawk anymore.
Yeah.
Shit's weird.
Well, to be fair, that whole Vans Warped Tour crowd, you know, not to paint with one brush, but it's usually when you go to concerts like that, like the cool thing is being sort of underground and being like, yeah, I want this to be played at like a weird venue, you know, with my fucking Dickies and, you know, Vans on with my fitted cap and everything.
We don't wear Dickies.
It's very obscure.
We wear Volcom.
My bad. But yeah, that scene was always strange for me that scene would have like a festival.
Well, a lot of people hated it. A lot of people who were like more, because like it's like pop punk's a little weird because it's like clearly like Blink-182 and like Sum 41 are like huge bands, but then there's people who were like, this is barely even punk, and you know we aren't, you know, all in like some dude's basement. It's not punk enough for me. Right. And so there are a lot of people who were just like, Vans Warped Tour is appropriating punk culture and dumb shit like that. Wow. But I don't know. I loved Warped Tour. It started raining halfway through. The security was like, the bands can't play, and the bands all said, fuck you, and they jumped off the stage and were playing acoustic with us. Nice. I hung out next to a TGI Fridays mobile truck. It was like a food truck, and they didn't even make you pay for food. It was just free.
That's awesome.
It is pretty cool.
Wild.
It's awesome.
So Vans Warped Tour is awesome.
I think it's funny that every single time I've seen a picture of Vans Warped Tour, the sky is always gray and it looks like it's about to rain.
It's fucking... It's awful.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, I don't want to be there.
Shouts out to, I don't even remember where I saw it actually. It was in Atlanta. I don't remember the name of the place. But all right, so we're gonna do a new segment now where we fix a thing in 5 minutes and 13 seconds. So every week we're gonna try and, well, not every week that we have a podcast, normal podcast, we're gonna try and fix something in 5 minutes and 13 seconds. One of us will pick the topic, and the other three will try to solve it in 5 minutes and 13 seconds. This week, Solomon has a topic for us. Solomon, go.
Okay, boys, the ozone layer is depleting.
Fuck.
Fix it.
Okay, timer started.
Oh, do we gotta fix the ozone layer or stop it from depleting more?
The ozone layer is depleting.
So we gotta, just for clarification, the ozone layer isn't depleting anymore.
We fixed it.
We done it.
I don't know.
Do we bring it back?
I gotta bring
it back.
I said we
We're
plant
bringing back the ozone, boys.
a lot of trees.
Plant a lot of trees?
That sounds
Where
like
do we
a
plant?
good plan regardless.
Okay, so
what we're talking
I
about.
actually thought about this. If you can find a way to have like a barge and then put it in on water, and then you're able to take salt water and then purify it to make it so that it could actually like properly
like a floating island.
Exactly, like a floating island, but it's not an island. That's the thing. Its sole purpose is to produce more
We're
oxygen.
implying that all islands aren't floating.
They're just not though.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not getting into this. Wasting our time.
But that's one idea that I have.
How do we power to basically the barges?
That's the thing. That's
Solar power.
That's where
from the sun.
The thing is, I don't know. It wouldn't even really necessarily be like a barge. It would be more like you have like a platform that's on water and it floats.
Okay.
So you don't need to like power it. You would just like push it out, like tug it out there, like keep it close to the land though.
I think alongside that, we should pick cities and demolish them because they don't matter and replace them with trees.
We also need a
But
what's
who
it
gets
called?
Demolished?
I mean, we can just start throwing cities out there.
Survival of the fittest. Nobody lives
Fort
in
Myers, Florida.
Yeah.
First to go.
I guess so.
L.A. Goodbye, L.A. We only need San Diego. It's the better city.
No, but if what's it called? If
like
everyone leaves
Iowa.
LA, they're all gonna go to San Diego.
That's fine. San Diego's better. It's got a better coastline. I've never
Yeah,
been to
but
San
it's
Diego.
gonna what's it called? There's gonna be more There's gonna be more pollution.
You're not
there.
getting the point. There's gonna be
Well, I'm
fucking
saying
trees.
it's
William.
not gonna be as good.
We're getting rid of Phoenix, Arizona.
Why? What does
Vail,
Phoenix
Colorado. It's not about what they do. It's about what they don't do. When is the last time Phoenix contributed something, William?
I don't know.
That's fucking right. We're
Steve
getting rid of
Nash.
Phoenix, Arizona,
That 1 year.
Iced tea.
and then we're gonna fix this fucking ozone.
You really guys gotta watch out for the what's it called? just like the coal industry in America. That's number one. And then also India and China, because they go fucking crazy when it comes to like burning
We
fossil
gotta
fuels.
replace China with trees.
You just gotta tell them that, hey, you can do this and it can be clean energy. Like, it's a thing. Like, y'all can do it if y'all want to do it.
So we gotta fix our country and then India and China.
Yeah.
Well, they gotta do it themselves.
How much unilateral power
I thought we
do
were
we have?
doing
You have as much power as you want.
Ooh.
However, I'm throwing disasters in. What happens when there's a forest fire and you just have a shit ton of trees?
Well, we
We
replace
get
all
rid
the
of 'em.
fire with more trees.
Well, I mean, it depends. You're only gonna have a forest fire depending on where you put the trees
We
at.
put them in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
How are we gonna
why-
have a forest
why
fire
would you do that?
in the middle
We
of the
did.
ocean?
I'm
I
going to
don't
start
know.
a forest fire just because I'm
Is this
safe
not a
in
role
this
play anymore, or are
situation.
you just actually doing this?
No, I'm just starting shit now.
Okay.
It's me versus you.
Oh,
It's,
God.
it's like Mario Party.
Okay, if we have a forest fire, we are going to saw off the sections of land that are on fire, kick them out into the ocean.
What?
It's a bad idea.
You heard me.
I don't think that's going to work.
Push them off the fault line.
You only got 2 minutes.
I know.
We just need. I don't know.
Okay, what scenario is the forest fire? Where is it at?
I'm saying you just have a shit ton of, like, anywhere. Where do you want it to be at? Where it's most convenient for you to solve? Phoenix, Arizona, there's a forest fire, and it's just spreading to a whole bunch of different places because Danny planted a shit ton of trees. And then now the
We
air,
still
the
have
air's getting-
firefighters. They didn't replace all the firefighters with trees.
But
it's
where
a
do they
big fire.
live?
Where do they live?
I
They
thought
live
we
in
got
the
rid of
trees.
the
This is
cities.
like Kajik. They live in the trees. All right.
We make
So it's like
firefighters
it's like
live in
a
the
brush-
trees.
Yes.
Okay.
They're-
How are they
yeah,
gonna
no,
get
they're
their
the,
trucks
like Ewoks.
through?
the bush squad. Yeah.
How do they get their trucks through the trees?
We don't know. No. We use sap based firefighting techniques. We got a sap gun. Fire, because if fire is extinguished by lack of oxygen. I don't know if you've ever tried to drink sap. You're not breathing through it. We're shooting maple sap everywhere. Shit's wild.
Wait,
We only plant maple trees.
wait,
Yeah, but that's the best. Sap.
isn't like resin? Isn't that flammable?
Resin?
Pot.
It is not flammable. Is it? I don't think
I think it is.
You can smoke it.
I think you're lying.
You can
No,
smoke resin.
I'm not 100% sure, but I
Okay,
feel
we got
like
10
it might
seconds.
be.
But I don't think resin's not the same thing as sap. But
you blow up the
I mean,
earth.
like resin is like hard
No
and
more
sap.
layers.
yeah, firefighter maple tree things. All right.
Time.
Good job. I like the idea of a sap extinguishing.
We also
fires
have a
with
sap-based economy.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Everything's in sap.
I said we just, what's it called? We just spray water.
It's over,
on the
William.
ants.
It's
I'm just saying
over.
we just spray water on the
It's
plants,
No, we're doing sap now.
on the trees.
Sorry, UN's got to adopt our sap-based resolution.
William, on a scale of 1 to 10, rate America.
USA.
Dang, this is. If I'm being honest,
Yeah.
Please.
I
be
would say
honest.
America is like 8.5 to 9.
Wow,
Okay,
that's
I like
that's
it.
higher than most people would say.
I like it.
Because if I'm saying, if you're taking into account what we can accomplish, that's what I would say is 8.5 to 9.
How
And
do
then
we get to
also,
10?
the thing is that if people do it the way it's supposed to be done, and if everyone buys into the right idea,
I don't
then
like the
we
way
can
he's talking.
we can accomplish like the most.
It's very inspiring and very intimidating at the same time. How do we get to a 10? What do we do to get to a 10, William?
I mean, it basically comes down to
What
people.
race do we have to kill off?
Well,
Oh no, it's not even that. It's
It's
just
a
that
joke. This is comedy podcast.
whenever people just need. I would say the media has to change,
That's a very
like
good answer.
Hollywood, and the way they
Hollywood?
what's it called?
Never mind.
It doesn't need to be more. It needs to be less about the individual. It needs to be more about society as a whole, and how
So
do
we-
people?
we
What's it
gotta-
called? How do,
Yeah, it's like we gotta adapt.
it's not. It's not. I'm not saying communism. I still think we should have capitalism, but I feel like we need to buy into each other.
Okay, I'd like to preface this for the podcast. William is actually European, so it's normal that he's brainwashed like this.
Mm-hmm.
He's
It's
actually God. Also.
fine. He is also.
He's
I'm
a
not.
European god.
God.
And look, I fuck
Call him
William,
William.
so I'm a little biased.
That brings us to Daniel's comment last week. He said if the last podcast gets 3 likes, he has to jack off in front of William. And we got 3 likes.
Oh, we got
boy.
three.
We got 3 likes.
We're going.
Don't do it. Stop.
Do it.
Oh no.
Look him in the eyes, William. Look him in the eyes.
I feel like we've done this. It's just too. Stop.
Shit. I done misplaced my penis. Catch it next week, William. Don't worry. I'll remember.
All right. So our next headline is a Georgia networking event wants to help white people, quote, come meet a black person. So a networking event in Georgia near Atlanta, hosted by Cheryl? I think it's Cheryl. Cheryl Moses, the founder of Urban Media Makers, a group of independent black filmmakers and content creators. Moses thought of the networking event after a 2013 study from the Public Religion Research Institute that showed about 75% of white people in America don't have any non-white friends.
Damn.
And they're for most whites, their friend circle is about 91% white. 65% of black people don't have any white friends, and the average social circle for black Americans is 83% black. So they decided it's a great way to start relationships if they just have an event called Come Meet a Black Person. How easy is it to not meet a black person?
It depends where you live. You're in the Midwest. You're not going to meet
You're
one.
not going to see very many black
You just
people.
Chicago's in the
won't.
Midwest.
Was
We
it
talked
like-
about this last
I
week.
mean, most of the fucking empty ass fucking states.
Well, I get it. Like there are places that are majority white, but like have never met a black person.
like it's
I don't think it's meet. I think it's, like
Friend.
have a
Oh,
friend.
like me.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like a friend. Like a, hey man, come over. Come hang out type deal.
Yeah.
It's like even where I grew up, like majority of like the white like people, like there was like a school that was out in the countryside and it was predominantly white. I can't remember there being like one like 100% black person there. There was no like maybe a mixed kid, but there was no like 100% black person there. I went to the school.
I've spent like a solid third of my life up in Minnesota, just because I have family there, and I was halfway raised there too. And I swear we were like the only black family. Like I maybe saw like one or two other black families my entire time there.
How was were they confused by?
Oh, they were so welcoming. It's
Okay.
Minnesota. It's literally the nicest
I've never
place
been
in
to Minnesota.
Oh my god. It's basically Canada, so everybody's super super nice. Everybody's super. Oh, they were so welcoming there.
Why'd you
Yeah.
come here? It sounds great.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
Well, the nice part. Not the no black
It sounds
people
great.
part.
I don't know. Like I grew up in a place that didn't have a lot of black people, but I guess I never felt like, oh no, I can't be friends with any black people. If that makes sense. It never intimidated me. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just a good person.
I think you just have them available also. Like there's black people there, so you can befriend them.
Yeah.
But
As if
but
you
you
can't
don't think
find
that,
a black person, you
but
cannot.
this
befriend
is
them.
near Atlanta. You're telling me that you don't know how to find
That's what
any
I was
black
saying.
people?
I was confused by the fact that it's in Georgia.
Yeah.
'Cause, like,
Wait,
Yeah.
it's in Atlanta?
Yeah, it's in Lawrenceville. It's near Atlanta.
Near Atlanta. Okay.
So I don't know if that is like something that, because like I lived in Atlanta for a little while, and it's like it's even if there are events that aren't come meet a black person that you know that you will meet people of other
Yeah.
races. So I don't know, and it's not hard to be friends with them. They're all pretty cool. I like Atlanta. Shuts out.
Yeah, no. I mean, I always think the like friend dating type thing
Yeah.
is pretty funny to me. Like apps that are like,
Yeah.
oh, like find somebody to hang out with. Like you share a common interest. Like I know I don't share like particular interests with like, I don't know. Let's say like William and I, we might not listen to the same things, might not watch the same things, but William's just, he's my friend because like we just meld well together, not because like we have things in common, I mean, that helps, but I think shit like that is really funny.
Well, yeah, I think that's true. I think that there are a lot of people who have the same like superficial interests as me, who I cannot stand. That,
Right.
They just annoy.
Danny, don't you date on Tinder by music taste?
That is true.
That's different. That's a very good sign of a personality.
But
Is it?
It is.
Is it?
I
but-
only listen to girls
Clout.
who like Lil Uzi.
I should correct this by saying I've yet to go on a Tinder date.
There you
So
go.
thanks for pointing out that I am still a loser.
I didn't do that. That was all you.
It's not a big deal, man.
But no,
Hey, look at me. I haven't gone on a Tinder date. I'm not a loser.
But based on what you're saying, though, it's funny because I always go on Tinder and there are people who are like, I'm just here looking for friends. And I'm like, that's a weird place to look for friends.
It really is. Like,
But-
you must be really, really desperate. Hate to say
Yeah,
it.
that's
I don't
me.
know. Maybe I'm also an awkward human, so I get it that like it's hard to make friends. But also, I feel like there are different avenues for you to make friends.
Right.
Go to a coffee shop and just hang out with people and be like, hey, what's up? It's not hard.
If you show up at a place, regularly, and there's other people who show up regularly, eventually,
Yeah,
you're gonna
you're just
spark
gonna
a
have,
conversation.
you're gonna have to talk.
We are close friends with the person who works the convenience store here.
Yeah, young pod.
Young Pie.
Hashtag free young pod. He's
Yeah.
locked up 8 years to life. He shot a guy in the face.
He's just working.
He gave him
tonight,
8
that's
years
all.
to life. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It was a really weird sentence.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess like I understand that it's I think this event's heart is in the right place,
Definitely.
Yeah,
But
not the
also-
right state.
but also it's just like I feel like that makes it more of a weird novelty.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I see what they're going across,
Yeah,
Because it's that, same idea that, like, oh, I'm a white person. I don't have any, not even just black. I don't have any colored friends. Like, I can't, like, relate to certain experiences, or I don't understand these cultures. I don't understand these backgrounds because all I've known my life is white. So I'm going to try and branch out, type deal and meet a black person.
but do you think? Actual question: do you think it's better to know somebody as a black person or to just know them? No, seriously, because
As a person.
it's called "Come Meet a Black Person."
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So, like, do you think it's better to start with the mindset of they're black, or to start with the mindset of like, oh, they're just
a
this
person.
I bet they're trying to promote the mindset that they're just a person, despite the title of.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
just poorly worded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a very.
It's just like
it's a
they were
bad
like-
name, but like, what can you do?
we probably
That's
should be doing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most black people you usually know that they're
What?
black.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
That's why I only hang out with people online who have anime avatars, because that's like, that's a roulette.
Mm.
You don't know what you're getting.
No, you don't.
no, I'm scared. I don't like the idea of people that use like anime avatars.
Yeah.
I'm
don't like
against
it?
I'm against it.
You're against anime?
I'm okay with it
Well, I'm
on
not-
certain sites like YouTube and shit like that. You go do whatever.
I
the
mean,
fuck you
if
want.
it's an anime
But,
site,
like, when
that's
you pull
fine.
up when you
but,
pull up on like Facebook and like you're
Oh,
a
yeah.
hentai character, I'm like, bro,
Ooh,
that's not you.
character.
I don't fuck around in comment
I
sections.
don't know any of the characters for hentai.
I just
All
like
do
looking
is
at
fuck around
comments.
in comment
Yeah, I
section.
just
That's majority of my time on the internet. This is comments.
But I do think you're right, Solomon, though. It's like there's like I was friends with you, I think we're friends.
Maybe.
I was friends with you before I knew that we
Blurred
had
line.
any of that we had anything in common as far as our interests.
Right, yeah.
So
Yeah,
and now we
it's
have
just
a
you just
podcast.
like it's like puzzle pieces. It's very strange how like life works and how like it brings people together.
William's so deep this episode, y'all.
I'm just being
it's all the
honest.
sparkling water.
That's why we
Yeah.
gotta have events where you meet a black person.
So we gotta look. Hey, come meet us. We're gonna have an event. Come meet us. We're having a Christmas party. If you want to show, DM us.
Yeah,
We'll give you an invite to our Christmas party. It's gonna be a couple weeks, so
come over.
hit us up. We're gonna hang out. We can't guarantee that we're black.
Also,
But
what
we
are
can't
those
guarantee that we're
sample
people.
sizes for those fucking stats?
Oh, I have no idea.
'Cause,
I also
like-
thought that stat it was the something religious group. I'm gonna go back. The Public Religion Research Institute, which I've never heard of. Not that means anything. I haven't heard of them, but
Because like
That sounds like a front for something.
how many people live in like
the Public Religion Research Group.
yeah,
You
we're
know
like
us.
we're the public guys.
Public guys.
Religion.
The religious guys. Don't ask questions.
It's the best cover for walking
meet a
door
black
to
guy.
door. Hey, you ever met a black man?
Get out of my house.
They're knocking on your door and white. They're like, yeah, what the Mormons? You know what?
With the church and
With
everything.
you want to? Hey, black people, they're all right. You want to come meet one? Just get in our car.
We got a black guy who wants to meet you.
It's a very elaborate kidnapping scheme.
Oh my gosh. If someone said like they have a black guy that wants to meet you, would you get in the car?
God,
Yes, absolutely.
I'd be scared. Not that he
I'd be
was
terrified.
black, but just that like
Thanks for the clarification.
I think
I had to say that because I don't want to say anything, and like it's a sound bite.
for the rest of your life.
Exactly, and they're just like, if I ran for president or for like public office, and they were like, William hates black people.
We got it.
That's what Daniel.
They're gonna use that. They're just gonna cut
just-
the
yeah,
rest
yeah,
of
you
it.
can just you can
It's like
bleep that
William
out.
hates
I'm
black
bleeping it
people.
out.
One of the scariest moments of my life happened like maybe like a month ago when we had a couple of friends at our dorm door, and I was just sitting in my room listening to music, and Daniel, who lives right next to me, knocks on my door and says, "Oh, there's white people here looking for you." I got so terrified.
That's scary.
I was like trying to like jump out the window. I was expecting to see like burning crosses or some shit. It's like, why are white people
You
after
think
me?
that if that happened, that we would just knock on your door and be like, "They're right here, by the
I
way.
feel like
We're
you
not
guys
gonna
would.
stop them."
I feel like you guys genuinely would. It's like, oh yeah, he's over there.
If a white supremacist came and tried to come in this room, I'd stop him.
If a white supremacist,
Thanks, William.
I'm just being honest.
if a white supremacist came, high chance it's me.
Yeah, high chance it's Danny.
Yeah,
All right for life.
baby.
This is a comedy podcast.
This is a comedy
We're all
podcast.
joking.
We are not the alt right. You can tell because we have senses of humor.
But
Yeah. I'm ambidextrous.
I don't think that makes you.
What is?
Are you actually?
No.
You use both, is that both? You'd be able to use both hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
both
I can
what
only
they-
use one hand.
I can use both my dicks.
Did you see it? Did you ever look on Reddit and see that dude's got two dicks?
I
He
did.
did an AMA.
I did not.
They both work.
Oh,
They
but yeah,
both
you
work?
told us
Yeah.
about this.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got two
Oh, we need
penises.
to interview him.
Oh, we do.
Really
Like no,
want
he like
one.
made this post. Like he created an account, and it was just like, "I have two dicks, AMA," and he answered all these questions, and then he just doesn't use that account anymore. He's just a fucking ghost.
Damn.
That's cool.
Crazy.
That's wild.
It goes with
I
two
want to meet him.
dicks.
I respect that.
I always imagine it's somebody famous.
Really? I
Like-
feel like it'd be someone obscure, like an accountant.
Angelina Jolie.
No, I feel like it's.
Could be.
I feel like it's like, oh yeah, two dick guy. Yeah, that's just that's Mark Hoppus. I don't know why I picked Mark
guy.
Hoppus, but
Go
Anyway.
talk to Two Dick Jimmy.
two dick.
He'll show you the ropes.
Okay, so next news story. This is a pretty short one because I just want to be pissed off for a minute. Y'all hear about my boy Roy Moore?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so Roy Moore is running for the Senate seat in Alabama, vacated by our current Attorney General, Jeff Sessions. And they have a special election right now. It's Roy Moore is the Republican, and Doug Jones is the Democrat. And Roy Moore is notable. The reason he's so popular is because he has been twice kicked off of the Alabama Supreme Court.
Yikes.
One time for his first action while being in the Supreme Court was he bought a giant marble copy of the Ten Commandments and installed it in front of the Supreme Court building.
Ooh.
And then the second time was he was on the Supreme Court when gay marriage was federally legalized, and he told all of the people issuing marriage licenses to not issue them. He's like, "We're not doing this. Fuck the federal government. We're not letting any gays get married here. It's still legal here in Alabama." And that's why he's famous. And so now he's running for senator.
Mm-hmm.
And he was doing really well up until last week.
Uh-oh.
Well, he wasn't doing really well. He was above Doug Jones. Not that much. He was 52%, which is
Okay.
very close for Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
But it came out last week. I think it was last week, the end of last week, after recording this podcast, that Roy Moore had sexual affairs always. Wait.
Just this podcast.
With it's out. What the fuck else are we supposed to talk about? He with 15 and 16-year-old girls. Now the kicker is, Roy Moore's response was, "I never ever dated a 16-year-old without their parents' permission.
Yeah.
And this guy is tied for the possible Senate seat in Alabama.
Yeah, and he's not pulling out, if you know
He's
what
not.
I mean.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Ooh, and that's our podcast, ladies.
I'm sorry, I had to make that joke. I didn't even mean to say that.
William
It just
respects
came out.
women.
Well,
Yeah, well,
at
it's
least
a-
he
it's a-
asked to date him
Mitch
first.
McConnell and like Paul Ryan are all like, hey, you should really pull out. We still have a month. We could put somebody else in there who could maybe win. And Roy Moore's like, I'm not going to fucking lose. It's just...
I'm going
it's-
to be real disappointed if he doesn't lose.
He's not going to lose. That's the thing, though. Is it like I'm from Alabama? He's fucking tied. He's tied. He could win.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I'm mad about it. Anyway, that's all. I'm just.
Oh, but did you see his brother's comment that he made?
Maybe.
He said people are trying to persecute Roy Moore like they persecuted Jesus Christ.
Damn.
He said those exact words, and I was just like,
Except that Jesus Christ didn't fuck 16-year-olds.
You're peeking.
I know. I peaked.
He's peaked.
I just it's
it's just
fucking bonkers.
Jesus,
That's
you got
wild.
an AMA to clear your name.
Yeah.
And somebody else actually defended him. It was like, I feel like it was like Ann Coulter or somebody dumb shit like that. But was like, who was like, how old do you think Mary was when she got pregnant? And I was like, I don't know. And I think it was Colbert was like, I don't think you read the story of Mary. The whole point was that she didn't have sex with anybody.
Yeah.
It's like,
What to say?
it's
I
yeah,
learned.
that's not. Don't compare that.
Yeah.
Don't compare the Virgin Mary to
To
a
any-
16-year-old who got molested.
I've learned that politics is bullshit and anybody can get in office. Like anybody.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. That's why I'm running.
Yeah.
yeah, it's true.
And I honestly think Daniel would have a pretty
Look at
good
me.
run if he
I'm
ran.
winning.
Well, I've been paying attention to the mayor's race here in New Orleans.
That's right.
I think Daniel could win.
Oh,
I think
shit.
Daniel could win.
Do I have to be a certain
God
age?
damn it! I have to
too
vote
late now.
Saturday.
Yeah, you
I forgot
do.
I did to do that. Shit.
Are we allowed to ask you who you're voting for?
That's
Latoya.
federal information.
Okay,
I
that's just not federal information.
Wait,
Classified.
It's just local.
what's her
I
last
just-
name?
Shit.
Cantrell.
Cantrell.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was Latoya
Chemtrails?
Jackson because that seems like
Latoya
a very.
Chemtrails.
Kim
I
Trails.
feel like I've seen that name before.
Whoa, it's all a fucking conspiracy. She was using those credit cards to buy chemtrails.
I'll take 8 chemtrails.
What's his name? Is Skurlock still in the race?
No, he's not.
No.
he was already polling at like 2%. So if you don't know, which you probably would, there's this dude named Morgan Spurlock, and he's Spurlock?
Morgan?
Is it?
I think it's
Frank.
Frank, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Morgan Spurlock is the dude who made Super Size Me.
Same guy.
Frank
Skurlock. Yeah, Skurlock.
Skurlock.
Frank
Yeah.
Spurlock.
He was already, he's like this super, and we knew about this too because we went to go see stand up, and there was a girl who was doing stand up who said that that he always made weird like comments and shit whenever she saw him because she would see him around town because she works at a school. Anyway, he was already polling really poorly. He was kind of a batshit guy.
It's
and
insane.
then right before the primaries, he got caught beating off in an Uber.
Yep. Got caught beating off in an Uber in California.
Was it in California? Oh
Yeah,
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 that's
yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
It happened like I believe last February or last March, and then news came out earlier, like in August or something like that.
And he continued the race.
Can't be jacking off an Uber unless William's in it.
That's like the
That's
governor
just
of Alabama,
false.
Robert
That's a
Bentley,
rule.
was
They have it in the rules.
the governor of Alabama, Robert Bentley, got in trouble because he was using public money to bring his mistress to a Cher concert
Wow.
in Vegas.
That's pretty funny.
I think it's hilarious.
I think that's really sweet.
What a good guy.
I'd vote after him after that. Yeah. That's very genuine.
It was like because his approval
I'd do
rating
that.
was already fucking through the floor, but we kept voting him in because he didn't take a salary.
Oh, okay.
So it was just like, well, I guess,
You know, I work for free.
yeah.
I said, but I'm going to use the state money.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I think that Roy Moore is a fucking idiot. Don't vote for him. He's a piece of garbage. He's trash. He's in my personal opinion, the worst human being in politics at this very moment.
Wow.
That is, by the way, I am rating him beneath Kim Jong Un.
Damn, you meant all the politics.
All the politics. Fuck him. If you're listening, Roy Moore, thank you for sponsoring this podcast.
We appreciate
Go
it
fuck
greatly.
yourself.
We will be
just
voting
go,
for you.
Go fuck
Oh.
anybody who's not a 16-year-old.
No, don't go fuck anybody who's in a
That's okay.
16-year-old.
What?
There's 15-year-olds out there.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. Okay.
That's very
Go.
true.
You just cut your own dick off. Fuck off.
Yeah, and go talk to that guy with 2 dicks and be
Yeah.
jealous.
Yeah, you can get one from him. Maybe.
Don't get one from him.
I can borrow this. Yeah, I don't know. Any other politics talk we want to talk about?
Politics are gross.
Yeah, I agree. I try to keep myself out of politics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just don't. I'm not registered to vote. I don't ever watch the news.
We don't have cable.
It's true.
Yeah.
I also don't know what the electoral college is. I know I should be mad about it.
Is that not where we at right now? Oh, we was taking classes at the
I thought that when I
college.
graduated here, I got the right to vote. What the fuck am I doing?
What
Okay.
state overturned the law that felons get the right to vote again?
Yep.
That happened.
I forgot what state that was,
don't remember.
but it was cool because they showed a picture of a dude who was able to vote.
I feel like it was like Virginia.
I believe it.
D.C. Maybe it was Washington, D.C.
Fuck Bill Clinton. Anyway.
Somebody did that.
Yeah, Monica and Hillary.
I don't like it. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's insinuating.
It's very strange.
Okay, so last
take it
story
back.
today is. Do you guys watch any of the like the talent shows, the TV
No.
talent shows? No.
I'm not.
None of us are
fucking-
talented.
We don't have cable.
My dad really
That's,
likes.
they're just not on cable. Though. They're on.
What? What's not on cable?
They're on. They're
What?
on the regular
What?
network like NBC and shit.
That's cable.
That's cable.
That's not cable.
That's cable.
It's
we
just
don't.
not
We don't
what
have
cable
TV.
is. Those okay. So if you can get it through the airwaves through bunny ears, it's not cable. Cable it implies that you have to purchase it through a package.
You got the bunny ears?
I do at my house, like in Alabama. Yeah.
Well, you got cable back there. We ain't got cable here.
But it's not. It's just not cable.
Yeah, we need,
It's just not cable. It's a
Hey.
different thing.
Windows bunny ears.
Do you want me to bring a pair back?
No, I just want cable.
I think you should.
I don't want to watch
I
the
just
news.
don't think we're gonna have cable for the rest of the year.
Shouts
Hate
out
break it
to our building for not giving us cable.
Yeah.
We're the only people.
Or mirrors.
Yeah, or mirrors. We just don't have mirrors either.
I got 2 mirrors.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, William.
William's the fucking 1% got 2 mirrors.
I have 2 mirrors.
Anyway, so for those of you who do watch America's
Mirrors.
Got Talent, which is the one of the few I don't give a shit about actually, there is a deaf singer on there named Mandy Harvey, and she's a deaf singer. That's her talent. She sings.
Does she sing well, or does she
I
just,
think-
does she just know how to sing?
I'll
and
be
just
honest.
deaf?
I'll be honest with you. Don't know. I
Okay.
did not watch it. There's supposed to be a video in this article, but it wouldn't work. But she reveals, I used to get some pretty strongly worded letters and death threats. I got a lot of backlash from certain people in the community, meaning the deaf community, because I was promoting oralism.
Oralism.
She got death threats from other people in the deaf community because she was promoting an activity that required hearing.
Death threats.
Hmm.
That's just the right term.
It's
Is she positive that she got the threats though? Because I mean, she can't hear.
She said they're in letters.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure you can hear letters.
He says, I can't hear these letters on my page.
It actually does say oralism is the name given to the practice of educating deaf people to use speech and lip reading rather than sign language. Because deaf people seem to consider they believe they have their own culture because they technically speak a different language.
They do.
Yeah.
But sometimes, and I have a deaf friend back home. He actually says the deaf community can sometimes be very overprotective, and they sometimes will brand people like traitors. And she actually says it's like saying you're not one of us. Although some deaf people use it to describe themselves, I wouldn't call anyone oral out of the blue. And because I can communicate with speech as well as sign, I have it said to me, which has taken me aback. So my question is just, what is the dumbest fucking thing to protest? Because I think that's pretty close. To protest singing because somebody's deaf.
I don't know, blind people maybe.
Do you think to protest blind people?
Yeah, if they're trying to see, you know.
But like in actual, like what's something you've heard of where you're just like, this is so stupid?
That's a really good question.
I would say white supremacy.
Okay, I'll take it.
What do you think, James? James is our deaf guest. He hasn't said a word this podcast yet. I don't know why.
He also just doesn't know we're doing a podcast.
Oh.
I don't think I signed it to him. This is a bad bad.
He's also mad because we kidnapped him.
Yeah. I also just don't think
I
he's
said we
deaf.
got a black guy
He's
who
just
wants to
tied up.
meet
He
you.
can't speak.
So we got a black guy named Solomon who wants to meet you. Get in the car. He says, what? Stole them anyway. Do people protest killing endangered animals like they want to kill them? Is that a thing?
There's like actually a group. If you've ever
Want
read
to kill the whales?
Artemis Fowl, they talk about it. There's a group of people who believe that we should just let species go extinct because they can't take care of themselves.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well,
Just mean. Just rude.
That's just
okay, but let's think for a second. I mean, isn't that nature?
I get
Isn't
it.
survival of the fittest?
But like, it's kind of fucked.
I mean, that's like
when
I feel
has
as if you do that,
yeah, like,
then
But if
like,
you
all the
yeah.
kids that are starving in Africa, then you just
I
have
hate
to
this
say
argument?
that's like, how would you put the life?
yeah, people did use that
That's
for
the thing.
racism a lot.
Yeah.
That's the issue. You just can't be like.
And
It's
also,
like a paradox.
if you're just like fuck them, then I think that it's going to ruin the ecosystem for you in the long run.
Because
Like,
we're
there's just gonna
also
be
Yeah.
places
like,
we don't have.
Then
Yeah.
I'm fucked, and that's survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm getting real Ayn Rand on you guys.
The truth
Well,
is,
I don't think that's ever what
that
Ayn Rand
was
said.
not at all close. I was just.
I've never read an Ayn Rand book.
Like, William, you want a piece of candy? Getting real Karl Marx on you. Sharing.
I think there was a girl when I was in high school who
Nah.
You got me. All right, story's done. There's a girl when I was in high school who protested the library.
For what?
She
Kept sending her death threats.
she was mad that they charged late fees because her taxes paid for books. She did not pay taxes because she was 14. So I think that might be one of the dumbest ones, is to protest.
It's pretty fucking stupid.
And it's like also like most public libraries don't get a ton of money from the government. They usually get a lot of donations. It's like you're not helping at all.
Protest the fire department. Because I think that's stupid.
Oh yeah,
That they're cheating on their wives.
because they don't use sap-based fire extinguishing techniques.
Ooh, callback.
They can still be firefighters, but they have to use the axe every time. Like, no more hoses.
I like it. What do we use the axe on?
Oh, the fire.
Okay.
They're cutting it up. Make it a smaller fire.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought this headline was really funny. I don't know what else to say about it. I think it's dumb as hell.
I don't know.
Y'all ever protest something? Like actually?
How does she practice singing? This is just some guy in the room
That's a
going,
good question.
hell yeah, that was better than before.
Yeah, they just say like this, get thumbs up or thumbs down.
Because I know she's not like, am I getting better?
If you know more about this girl than we do, let us know in a comment. We are too lazy to do the research. We are not a real news podcast.
Or if you're the girl listening to the
Oh.
I
Well.
feel as if maybe she wasn't born deaf.
Oh, maybe.
You know?
Yeah.
So she has because like whenever she speaks, she doesn't have like I wouldn't say like the weird.
Oh, did you listen to her?
Yeah, I've heard her like
Oh,
I've
okay.
watched like an episode of America's Got Talent whenever she was on it.
Okay.
Damn, William fucking knows shit.
Also, because I've heard they did an episode of House on this where there's some kind of resistance by certain deaf people to using cochlear implants because they think that forcing people to hear is unfair, basically. And I think that it's at some point it's just like you can be. It's not like they're removing your ability to use sign language. If you want to continue to not hear it, you can just turn it off. It's like a hearing aid. But like, just don't don't be fucking stubborn for no reason. Put yourself at a disadvantage. Don't protest dumb shit.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
Second Amendment, right to here.
Or something.
I never read a book.
No, I use my Second Amendment all the time. It's not
We
that.
protest in the
It's
library.
your Second
and shit.
Amendment.
It's the right to bear arms.
I know. I thought you said you use your, like you had a personal.
Oh, no.
Second Amendment.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my
The
personal
Danny
Second
amendments.
Amendment.
Yeah.
It's the right to fight children.
That's a good one. That's a really good
I
one.
don't
Fight
like
children all the time.
Sometimes you gotta fuck them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't know what else to say.
It's okay.
Are we done here?
Do we have any more topics?
I don't think so.
No.
Unless you guys have something you want to talk about. Want to bring up?
Can we weigh in real quickly on XXXTentacion getting jumped by Migos? So I think that's hilarious.
That happened?
Yes. XXXTentacion was coming from a hotel with one of his friends and I believe a female, and Takeoff from the Migos came up to him, said, "What's up, X?" and just hit him at the side of the face. And then
Yeah.
Offset and Quavo jumped out the car along with their security guards and everything and started tackling X and his friend. And yeah, no, he got jumped and he got beat up pretty fucking bad. If you look at his Instagram stories, he's like bleeding from the side of his eye and his head. And yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for him.
Yeah, neither do I, but I do think rap beef
Clout.
is like petty, yeah.
Oh, it's super
Super petty.
stupid.
Clout.
I always thought it'd be interesting to have. I've always wanted to do.
Clout.
I cannot shut the fuck up. I cannot rap at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always wanted to do a rap project where the whole persona is you're just not allowed. Like you just have to be modest all the time. You can't ever talk about you being good.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about something similar to that, like the opposite of a diss track,
Yeah.
like a love track,
Oh yeah.
respect track.
I think that's just blessings.
Yeah.
What?
Bio was a
But Chance the
collector's
Rapper.
But I want to be like
Isn't that
aggressive.
something about God?
No, I want to
Because
be.
he's talking about, he's like, Kanye didn't sign me, but he's proud of me. I'm his greatest prodigy or whatever. He's just saying nice things the whole time.
I'm like aggressive bars
Yeah.
about how much you like.
Like hit them up in
another-
reverse?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd buy it.
I see you in the streets. I'm gonna give you a dap. You know. You best not come around me because I'm gonna pay you some money. Shit like that.
Give you $5 because you're my best chap.
Yeah. Hey.
All the improvs are like, I love you.
Say, I dare you to show your ass in New York. We're gonna have a good time. Take you out to dinner.
Respect you.
I'll pay for your drinks because I love you that much. Even though my wallet's hurting.
Okay. We done here, man.
Yep. So, oh, wait. Is there anywhere people need to find us?
Where the fuck are we?
Well, we are on Twitter at SWEN Podcast. We are on YouTube. It's just SWEN. You can email us. AskSWENPodcast@gmail.com. We are doing I'm trying to do a million things. I'm trying to get this podcast hosted. I'm trying to get it on iTunes and shit. But we'd have to pay money to do that.
Fuck.
I'm thinking about it. Maybe, I don't know. So yeah, those are the places to find us. Is Twitter at SWEN Podcast, YouTube SWEN, Ask SWEN Podcast @gmail.com. We're pretty cool guys. Oh, also, I didn't mention this in the other podcast. I'd like to mention it now. Shouts out to Skylar Spence / FKA St. Pepsi for letting us use the music Enjoy Yourself for this podcast. He has not listened to it, which is fine because as soon as he hears it, I'm sure he will take it away from us. Mm-hmm. But thank you for letting us use that. All right, cool. We done?
Yeah.
SWEN.
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 Swen. Swen. Swen.